Hello everybody, Moarhammer here, and I've got another battle report for you. This is a 2000 point battle with my Demons of Tzeentch against Flesh Eater Courts. This is the list that I'm going to be taking to Heat 3 next weekend. I'm very happy with this, it's a lot of fun to play and hopefully it should do quite well. But I'll get right into it right after the army breakdown. So first of all I've got Wretch, my Gaunt Summoner. He's my general, he's an arch sorcerer to give him a couple of extra spells. He's generally just going to be sitting at the back, summoning a bell with vortex and shooting stuff. Then we've got a Change Host, which is my Lord of Change. He's got phantasmal weapons, giving him a bit of extra rend. Then we've got a Herald on a burning chariot. He's just going to be flying around and doing some stuff. Then we've got Blue Scribes. His spell's excellent to make sure I can get all my spells that I want off. Then I've got 3 units of 10 pink horrors. These guys are just going to be my standard battle line. They're pretty good, they're casting spells, they're shooty, and they can capture objectives and stuff. And then I've got a unit of 6 screamers. These guys are super fast and they're super useful for grabbing objectives, and then if he's got any monsters, they actually are not bad at dealing with them, so yay, they're fun. Then we've got a burning chariot. Really like these guys, they're fast, they're slightly hitty, and they are shooty, so what's not to like. Then I've got an exalted flamer of Tzeentch as well. And he's basically the same as a burning chariot, but a bit slower and a bit less hitty. So yeah, there's my list, and I've also got 220 points in my reinforcement pool. So here's a picture of deployment. Starting on my side, on the far left, I've got my Exalted Flamer, then a Burning Chariot, then I've got my first unit of 10 Pink Horrors. Then there's my Lord of Change, my Blue Scribes behind him, and then to the right of them my unit of 6 Screamers. In front of them on that hill, I've got my 10 Pink Horrors. Then to the right of the Screamers, I've got my Gaunt Summoner with his familiars. Then I've got 10 more Pink Horrors and the Herald on Burning Chariot. On his side, starting on the far left again, I've got a unit of 10 ghouls, crypt ghouls. Then a Ghoul King, I think, just behind them. And on the right hand, just moving on to the right there, he's got a Ghoul King on Zombie Dragon. I think just behind him as well, he's got a Varghulf. Vargheist? Varghulf? Vargheist. That's I've got no idea. Then behind that building in the middle, he's got 20 ghouls, and then he's got another Ghoul King on Zombie Dragon, and that guy is his general. Then he's got another Vargheist, behind the Realm Gate, and then to the right of them, he's got 6 Crypt Horrors. And then another unit of 20 Crypt Ghouls. So quite a scary army, lots of bodies, but also 2 Zombie Dragons, which is a bit scary. We're playing Border War from the General's Handbook, as we've got the sort of diamond-shaped 4 objectives. My one is worth 1 point to me, but 4 points to him. The ones in the middle are worth 2 points each, and then correspondingly, the one in his is worth 4 to me and 1 to him. So it's all about capturing those sort of backfield objectives. So getting an early start would be really good here. However, I still do give him the first turn. I want him to come at me. I want to get some decent stuff in spell range. I did actually deploy back a little bit, not quite as far forward as I could have done. That's because I know his zombie dragons have quite a large reach. They've got a 14-inch move, and if he gets a long charge, then he can really get stuck in there. So he comes forward like this. He doesn't come. He basically pushes forward his stuff the minimum distance to capture the 2 objectives in the middle. Then his zombie dragons lurking in the centre of the board, trying to get ready to pounce on stuff as they come forward. But he's got no shooting that's any longer range than that. So that's about all that was. So we jump into my turn, and first we go to my Change Host. So I swap 2 of my units of Pink Horrors around. And because of how the Change Host works, you can kind of get a free 9-inch move out of it. So I do that for the 2 units of Pink Horrors to push them forward. So that should be able to get them onto the objectives if I need to. Then my second swap was my Lord of Change for that unit of Pink Horrors on the hill. The reason I did that was just so I could get within 18 inches of the left-hand Zombie Dragon. I was going to hit that with a bunch of spells and hopefully take it down a notch. Gaunt Summoner summons a bell with Vortex, standard. So we go into the sort of the shooty end of it, and I do fairly well actually. I whack a decent chunk of wounds onto the zombie dragon on the left hand side. So that's not his general, but I do a fair number of wounds. I think I do 6 or 7 wounds to it, which isn't bad at all. Other than that, I don't really do a whole lot. So we go to the movement phase. and I do move some stuff around. My Screamers go as far forward as possible. I was hoping I could get a long charge onto that zombie dragon. Then my 2 units of pink horrors, they just move up so they're in range to score stuff. That was kind of all I was really aiming for. I also moved my Lord of Change off to the left behind the units of horror, the other units of demons, just because I wanted to make sure he can get charged by the zombie dragon if he got the next turn. Then both my flamers kind of move up a little bit within range, so they've got a few options of shooting between the zombie dragon and the Vargheist and all that stuff. So that was what that was. In the shooting phase, my horrors do take some... both units of horrors shoot at the crypt ghouls and manage to plink 6 of them off, so not too bad. The important thing here was that I managed to get more of them off the objective than I had. So it's most number of models within 6 inches, and now I had 6. He only had 5 within 6 inches, so I was going to be scoring this objective. My Exalted Flamers also open up on the zombie dragon and plink another couple of wounds off it, so it's down to 10. It's got 10 wounds taken on it, so only 4 left, so that's pretty good. So we go into the charge phase. And I charge my pink horrors in here. I just need to kill a couple more, maybe 1 or 2 more, and it'll really clinch the thing in. Also gets more of my models up towards the objective. But also, if I can kill 1 or 2 more, he's got a shakier battle shock, so I've got a good chance of wiping them all out. And if I can kill them all, then they can't come back to life or anything, so that would be kind of the goal here. I'm also going to manage to get a really long charge in, and my Screamers smash into the zombie dragon, so I'll keep my fingers crossed here. I do strike here first, and boom, I bring it down, which is fantastic news. Really, really happy to have one of those big dragons out turn 1, so that's a really good start. Thank you, Screamers. Over here, he actually manages to kill 3 horrors with his crypt ghouls, but I managed to slap a single one back. Again, not a big deal, but it is what it is. When it comes to battle shock, he does actually manage to roll a 1 or a 2. He passes it fine, doesn't lose any more guys. So we go to the initiative roll, and I win it, which was not bad at all. So off the top of that really strong turn, I'm actually double turn him and get some other stuff sorted out. So main things I do with the Change Host, I swap over my Screamers for my Lord of Change. Now the idea of that was that I would just get my Lord of Change into the backfield and maybe deal with the zombie dragon from there. And my Screamers are fast enough they can get up the field ASAP. My Gaunt Summoner did cast Shield of Fate on my Lord of Change as well to really make sure he's buffed up and very, very sturdy. And he put Mystic Shield on himself as well, so he should be a really, really tough nut to crack. I do cast a couple of spells and stuff. I put some wounds on the zombie dragon. I put some wounds on the Vargheist as well, and as the Ghoul King. So I also, with my Gaunt Summoner, I managed to do a really long Infernal Flames. So he casts them at the Crypt Ghouls, or the ghouls on the top right-hand side corner, and I managed to burn about 10 of them total. So that was really, really good. Hopefully their battle shock will be shaky as well. In the movement phase, I move my Screamers up, like I say. I move both my Burning Chariot and Exalted Flamer kind of over to the right-hand side, to the centre of the board, to hopefully get some more pot shots to the Vampire Dragon, or the Zombie Dragon even. And then my Horrors kind of just shift around a little bit, to the idea being is if they've moved up towards his units are going to get as much movement when they come to attack, which would be ideal, really. So in the shooting phase, I do put some shots into the Ghoul King, and I do a wound to him, which is not too bad at all. So we go into the charge phase, and my Lord of Change and Screamers slam into this zombie dragon. And I had high hopes for this. I did have to not get in with my Screamers as much as possible because I didn't want to pull in the Crypt Horrors from the right-hand side over there. That would have been really bad. So I couldn't get all my Screamers in, but it's not the worst. I also charge in over here with my Herald on Burning Chariots. I mean, he's not great in combat, but if he can kill 5 ghouls, he'll be doing really, really well, so that would be ideal. I also charge into the Ghoul King over here with my Pink Horrors. I had no I don't get me wrong, I had no idea. I had no belief that these guys actually kill the Ghoul King, but if I can tie him up, that's fantastic. That's all I really wanted to do. So, I do go first with my Lord of Change, I believe, and I totally fluff everything. I don't do a single wound, which wasn't good. So yeah, he attacks with his zombie dragon, and he kills a screamer. So he does absolutely pants there, but I'm not complaining too much. Then the attacks over here, I managed to kill a single horror with my horrors, a ghoul with my horrors, sorry. And over here, my Burning Chariot does take 2 wounds, but he does manage to run over 2 more crypt ghouls, so that was pretty good. When my screamers come to attack, again, they don't do very well. They only put 1 or 2 wounds onto the zombie dragon, so not a great start, to be honest with you. But he's not going anywhere from where he is. Well, in a perfect world. So yeah, that wasn't the worst thing in the world. So we go into his turn, and he doesn't do a whole lot of movement, to be honest with you. Most of his stuff's tied up or where it wants to be. His Varghulf on the right-hand side jumps over to deal with the Herald and Burning Chariot. And other than that, not really a whole lot happens. In the combat phase, or in the shooting phase, his zombie dragon manages to kill 2 of the screamers, which is a bit brutal, actually. He rolled a 6, what can I say? And then he goes to the charge phase. So his Varghulf charges into the Burning Chariot, and his Crypt Horrors charge into the Pink Horrors. That was a bit scary. And that was all the charges. No, I'm lying to you. The ghouls next to the Lord of Change charge into him, but I wasn't too worried about that. So he attacks with the Crypt Ghouls first against the Lord of Change, doesn't do anything. So I immediately attack back with my Burning Chariot against the Varghulf. It was a potential for me to kill it. I don't manage it. I put 5 wounds onto it. So pretty good going, to be honest, but it's not dead. Then I attack with my Lord of Change against the ghouls. I managed to kill 3 of them. Not great. I do split my attacks here. I try to put a couple on the zombie dragon, but don't do anything. Over here, his Ghoul King managed to kill 4 of my horrors, so not a big deal again. I've got a couple of 1s in my Destiny pool, so I can bring these guys back. So I'm not too fussed about losing some. Over here, unsurprisingly, I don't do anything with my horrors. And over here, my horrors managed to kill one of the ghouls. So yeah, that's pretty good. There's only 1 of them left now. Over here, his Varghulf does attack my Herald and Burning Chariot, and he puts all but 1 wound onto it. So I've got 7 wounds total, I've got 1 wound left. So, a bit scary. Over here, I managed to put a single wound onto the zombie dragon. This guy heals wounds, it's a nightmare, God, I hate them. Over here, his horrors have absolutely no problem eating my horrors, so that happened. So, with that being all said and done, we go into the initiative roll, and he wins it. So not the best time in the world. His Varghulf on the right hand side brings back a bunch of horrors around my Burning Chariot, so that guy was dead. And his Crypt Horrors in the middle kind of surge forward, looking to charge stuff. So that was not good either. In the shooting phase, his zombie dragon shoots at my screamers and kills 2 of them again. He rolls a 6. Can't fault him for rolling well. I can, but I won't. So we just go into the combat phase. His Varghulf does manage to finish off Burning Chariot, which is sad. I was hoping I could kill that guy. And then over here, one of his ghouls manages to kill one of my Pink Horrors. And I lose my final screamer to the zombie dragon as well, so that was sad. As far as all my attacks go, not a whole lot happens. I maybe do a couple of wounds here or there, but yeah, not a great deal happens. I bring a couple of my horrors back with Battle Shock as well. So, we go into my turn, and I do something crazy. With the Change Host, I swapped my Lord of Change for the Pink Horrors that were in combat with the Ghoul King on foot, on the left-hand side over there. The idea with that was it would get my Lord of Change out of combat and allow me to sort of maybe be a bit more useful with it. I didn't really want it fighting the zombie dragon alone, so I didn't want it there. So I put the Pink Horrors over to the right-hand side, where the Lord of Change was. Also, so that if I then do enough damage to the crypt ghouls over there, I might be able to capture that objective. So I kind of string them out a little bit around the objective to try and capture it, and I put a whole bunch of magic and shooting into them as well, and really, really managed to take their numbers down, which is ideal. I also moved my flamer, my burning chariot and exalted flamer into a position where they might be able to shoot them, and kind of leave it there. I do also, my Gaunt Summoner does a long-range bolt of change and shoots off the Varghulf from the right-hand side, so that guy was dealt with now. That's fantastic. Over here, these pink horrors managed to shoot off that final crypt ghoul, so that's fantastic to get rid of that guy. And over here, the shooting just sort of eviscerates most of the remaining crypt ghouls here. So at this point I was capturing his home objective, which is fantastic and exactly what I needed to do. I decided to throw caution to the wind a bit here as well, and I charge in my burning chariot into the crypt ghouls. There's only 6 of them left. I've got a fair number of attacks. Fingers crossed I might be able to get through a couple more of them just to make his battle shock that little bit worse. Over here I attack his Ghoul King with my Lord of Change, and I only do 2 wounds to it. It's pathetic. This Lord of Change has been rubbish this game. In terms of combat, he's been alright with shooting. So then he attacks with my burning chariot with his crypt horrors, and wouldn't you believe it? Oh, that made me sick. Oh, lose the burning chariot to 6 crypt ghouls. He hits with 6 attacks, gets 6 wounds, so I've got 6 5-up saves. I fail every single one, and the damn thing dies. Oh, but you know what? It is what it is, and I'll have to live with it. So that's the end of that. I do still score the DAC objective, fortunately, otherwise I would have been very angry. But we go into the initiative roll-off, and I win it. Again, pretty good time to win it, to be honest. So I decide that I really need to deal with a couple of things. I shoot off the Ghoul King that the Lord of Change is in combat with. He just turns around and goes, boop, and kills him. I also summon an Exalted Flamer. So he's on the bottom, right on the bottom board edge there. So hopefully those 2 guys can put their firepower together and deal with the crypt horrors. So that's my 120 points of reinforcement pool. Other than that, I think I finish off almost all of the remaining crypt ghouls that were in the backfield with a bit of magic, and then I move over like this. So I'm just trying to get my Lord of Change in a central position where he might be able to do some damage. But other than that, I'm kind of just thinking about scoring as many points as possible and really getting rid of those crypt horrors because they are terrifying me at the moment. Over here, I do charge in with my horrors against the crypt ghoul. It's alright. Sorry, the shooting over here, I do manage to kill one of the crypt horrors. So not great, but I can live with it. So over here, a pile attack. I don't manage to kill him, unfortunately, which was rubbish. Pink horror is just really bad in combat. I can't help it. So, and that's all I had to do. So we go into my turn. Sorry, his turn. I lied to you. His turn. And he does some stuff. His zombie dragon moves over to the left-hand side, the other side of the objective, to kind of try and think about capturing that objective on the left-hand side. He's got some crypt ghouls on the right-hand side that are moving onto that objective. And he's got 5 crypt horrors that are charging onto my back objective as well. So he's going to be scoring that one too, which is a bit upsetting, but it is what it is. In the shooting phase, his zombie dragon does shoot at the pink horrors over here and manages to kill 4 or 5 of them. So there's only 2 of them left, which is I just need to kill that single crypt ghoul. That's all I want to do. And then he charges into these pink horrors over here. I was a bit concerned, actually, because, that's not good. He's got a fairly decent chance of just munching all of them. In the combat phase, he managed to kill 1 more pink horror, so there's only 1 of him left now, which is a bit scary. And he does munch these pink horrors down to 4. So not killing them and not scoring that objective, which is kind of the important thing here, so that was ideal. So we go into the initiative roll, and I win it, which is really good. A bunch of stuff happens in the hero phase. and I managed to shoot off almost all the crypt horrors, which is fantastic. I also managed to shoot off that final crypt ghoul that was there, so he's dealt with as well. And I flee from combat from the zombie dragon. I don't need to be in that combat. I can capture the objective without being in combat. And my Lord of Change on the right hand side just jumps over to try and deal with that single remaining crypt ghoul. And also maybe score that objective, because that'd be really helpful. In the shooting phase, I do put all these guys shooting into the crypt horror, but I don't manage to kill him. I kind of spread out like this to make sure that he couldn't charge more than one of me. That was kind of the idea, because that would be bad, because he could probably just kill all of me with one with one guy. So we go to the charge phase, and my Lord of Change manages to get in over here. And it was okay, my Lord of Change has been rubbish in combat, so it could have ended badly. Fortunately, I do actually manage to kill him. I think I get like 3 hits and wounds with my sword, so it was pretty... So we go into his final turn, and he jumps the zombie dragon over to my objective. He does charge over here against the Exalted Flamers with his Crypt Horror and his zombie dragon. Manages to kill 1 Exalted Flamer, manages to kill 2 Exalted Flamers, which does mean he can score that final objective. And there you have it. That is the end of the game. Fortunately, because in that final turn I managed to score all 4 objectives, he couldn't catch up to me on that last little bit. So I do manage to pull out a victory in that game, but it was a really, really close game. It came down to a couple of dice rolls at the end there, so that was really, really cool. Those zombie dragons I just really struggle with. Well, there's one of them I didn't. One of them just folded like paper, but the other one just took so much beating and didn't end the game with sort of no wounds taken because he just regenerates them all. So yeah, pretty nasty thing there. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed that very much. Thanks a lot for watching. If you've got any hints or tips for me before Heat 3, please feel free to leave them in the comments. I'm sure I'd love to read them. If not, and if you're going to Heat 3, let me know. It'd be great to sort of meet up with some viewers because I really like doing that. It's fun. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for another battle report.